Me looking for. Oh, there we go. Da-da-da. Okay, that's one thing down. Now.
Oh, there we go. It worked.
Oh, there we go. It worked.
Oh, there we go.
It worked.
Okay, yay, you can hear me.
Okay, yay.
There is an echo. Why is it doing this today? Out of all times it chooses to do this. It chooses to do this weird echo. Both times. I don't know why. Try this again.
Is this working?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm afraid to comment anything. I gotta get the camera set up. Hold on.
You're fine.
Let's see.
Hi guys. Give us a minute as we ponder upon this whole
It's all working out in our favor.
But it's still working out.
There we go.
It's all working out in our favor.
But it's still working out.
There we go. It's all working out.
Where is it coming from? Oh, you know what? It's not on my end. It's definitely on your end. How can you manifest appearance changes like bigger lips or turned body? That's a okay. Let's see. Does it work now?
I have an answer. Let's
Hi,
see.
sensitive sissy.
Is it working?
I yeah, it's working now. It's working now. Perfect.
Okay. Let me just put. I guess I'll just put to the camera. It seems like whenever I do the camera, that's when it's messing up. So let's see.
Don't feel bad because it's been doing that today. Hi, Juana.
I'm afraid to say anything.
I don't think we have any issues. I
Okay.
think it works now.
Okay, it probably works. I was gonna put the background as usual, but I'm afraid to do the background. Both times I did the background, it didn't work.
Yeah, I think we got it to work this time. Guys, we were supposed to go live last week together, so we had a test run on his TikTok last week. So he's on my platform this week, so
Yes.
that we can obviously help each other out and help each other grow. So if you guys don't already know Mystic Manifesting, Nick, I'm gonna bring it over to you so you can introduce yourself.
Okay. Should I hit him with the channel intro like I do another one?
You could do that. You could definitely do that.
What's up, guys? Nick with Mystic Manifesting here, and welcome back. I never thought somebody with an intro. It was always weird. I'm like, okay.
Don't feel bad. I have an intro too, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I was like, oh man. I was just rewatching videos to edit, and I was like, every time you bring it on to TikTok, it's like, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? I'm like, stop! I have to mute it. I can't keep listening to myself. But thank you for having me on here. Like you said, last week we were going to, but it didn't work out. But it's okay because it all worked out in our favor anyway. Even this week, trying to do it through some circumstances that popped up, wound up working out for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, should I throw this on with the regular Mystic Manifesting?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Let's bring the Mystic Manifesting family into this as usual. and surprise them because I missed Monday. It
Yeah,
still
why
trips me out
not?
that it's like it's crazy. It's like you've been around the channel since day one, and 2 years ago seems so far away.
I know it really does seem so far away. I can't like it's been a minute since I found Nick's channel, guys. Like I've been a part of his channel without him knowing, and then his videos randomly popped up on my For You page. Like what, last week? Literally last week they popped up on my For You page, and then the next
Oh
thing you
yeah,
know, I'm sending him a DM, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to collaborate on a live?" And now we're here. So
yeah. And it's crazy too because it's like it popped up and you seen me and some other big creators saw me and it was like right around the time I started affirming that everybody knows who I am, other creators recognize me and all this same stuff. And then you message me, I'm like, it's got to be spam. Like first thing I thought was like because I see Queen of Manifesting and I'm like that name is like it's like I feel like somebody else is gonna have like everyone's gonna try and grab a name like that and it's like because it's like everybody wants to be king or queen of something so I'm like all right, it's probably a bot. And then I look, and then we start talking. I'm like, no, this is a real person because I was like,
definitely a
okay,
real
I,
person.
I I was like, okay, go to my Insta because I'm the one reaching out. So I'm like, okay, message me on Instagram then, or email me if you're real. Almost like if you're real. And you're like, okay, and then I'm like, oh, this is real. This is a real person. It threw me off because
Right.
usually I'm used to like I have to take all the action, and I think that's the lesson from that is you don't always have to take action. Sometimes things come to you. Not sometimes. It's like when you let them, they come to you. Like even the bigger creator that I reached out to that I forgot about, he messaged me a day or two before, maybe a week before you messaged me, and then it's like you carry on, and it's like all my videos are performing way better than before. I'm like, wow, it actually has paid off.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy how, manifesting and how things work. Like, I feel like we were, like, even last week when we were talking about last week, there's always that like, there's always that movement. There's always something, there's always movement. Like,
Yeah,
the people on here, like, Lana and Sensitive, Fisty, you guys already know, like, you guys know. So there's that video that I did with talking about there's always movement. And I make the example, like I like to show the example, like, hey, there
yeah,
is always movement. You see it. It's all around us in everything that we do. Even when we're
yeah,
not, even when you're still, there's movement. Like,
exactly.
example, I went to, and change, okay? Change. Change is the only constant thing, okay?
Yes,
That's a
exactly.
big part of movement. Um, last night, yeah, it was last night. Last night, me and my bestie, we were walking. We were going to a dispensary, and while we were walking, I was like, "Wait, when the heck did they close down the damn the the gas station that's up the block? I don't recall them closing that down. Like, when the heck did they close that down? Apparently, it was closed down for it's been closed for a while now. I didn't know that because, well, I've been on bed rest and trying to recuperate my ankle, so I didn't know that they closed it down. But that just goes to show you there's always what movement. There's always
Exactly.
change. So while everyone's over here trying to figure out, okay, well, where's my SP? He's conforming. He is changing behind the scenes like a
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's too like what I tell people is like when they're like, oh, what are they? What's my SP thinking? What's my SP doing? This thing, and I said, whatever the fuck you want them to be or do or say, because that's what my research or life experience has proved was I'm heartbroken, destroyed, all this stuff laying there, thinking she's probably crying, thinking about me, and I'm shut down myself. And it's like, and I went off one memory of being in her house one time and one time meeting her friend and putting together that was the friend that was going to say something to talk her into it. And it's like that, like just that one event. I'm like, when that happened, they found out that it was that friend talking to her, and that they were having the same conversation, and then it was the same memory that I was remembering out of the handful of memories that we had that was the thing that brought us back together. And that every time, whatever I thought in the back, that's what it was. That's why I'm like, being blocked is a blessing because that is you getting a chance to write the story.
Literally. Like, it's literally like a blank canvas. You're like, oh, what?
Yeah,
What?
That's why it's like
Like,
whatever, and it wasn't just that. It's like I started everywhere in my life now. It's like whenever something comes up, it's like okay, this is what this is thinking, and then it's like the synchronicities come up, and it's like when I don't know how long you were thinking about sending me the message, but when I was napping, I had a dream, and I'm like, I got back, I have 30 minutes to nap, and then I'm like, as soon as I wake up, I'm gonna have to message the Queen of Manifesting and get myself set up, and it's like as I as I open my eyes, I go find Sheila, and it's like about the. Wait, you do you go by your regular name too? I don't know. Some people
I
are.
do.
Okay,
No,
I
I
know
go by my
Sheila
regular name.
manifesting. I'm like, should I say Sheila or not? Because sometimes people are like, I just use their usernames for
Yeah, I
anonymity.
go by my regular name.
But then
Unless
yeah,
I
so
say,
as soon as I
unless
go to
I'm in a
message you, I
random
saw you
person,
typing. What's that?
unless I'm in a regular, like, random person's live, then I usually go by my regular name when I'm on my lives.
Oh, okay.
Makes it more personable.
Yeah. I was like, cause it's like even inked from the channel, her name. Well, actually, I don't even know if she wants me to say her name. So I don't know, but like I will still call her till this day like inked only because that was how I met her online.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think thought transmission is instant? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like actually that's the video. Where's my list? It's the first video I was going to film today after this about thought transmission.
I firmly believe that thought transmission is instant. Why
Yes.
do I feel like this? Hey, energy wellness. I feel like this because of the simple fact that I I have and I did a video on this like the other day, literally. I have been in situations where I've had friends say that they were thinking about me, and then I go and text them.
Yeah.
But the thought that thought was not like it. I didn't even think anything of it. I didn't think, oh well, yeah, I'm just gonna go message this person. Like I wasn't like it was such a natural thought, but I went to go reply to either one of their messages or like I went to go send them something, and then they were like, "Oh, thinking about you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's
it was instant.
it's one of those things where it's like it always happens, and it was like and it's weird. Here's one that was like a direct. So in the Discord, we have like the premium Discord with Mystic Manifesting. So there's my plug. Like in the Discord, like we've got like all different things. Like what do you have going on? Your network, like networking with other people, because I believe that everybody is a little bit creative or artistic to a degree. So that we could be able to collaborate on projects and stuff that are outside of SP and everything else. Like
Yeah.
so we have all this stuff, and then like good news and success stories. One guy said that he was doing a speaking engagement. He was going to get to speak with one of his idols in speaking, and I was like, oh well, that's awesome. This and that. I'm in the gym, and it's been a long time since I did chest day, and I was like, and because of the chest hair and stuff, so I'm pushing myself to the limit, and I'm like scared of this, and out of fear and focus and all this stuff where I'm in there, this guy pops in my head, and I'm like, man, that sucks. I was like, today's Monday. I'm like, I should have wished him good luck on Friday and just reached out to him. I'm like, too bad. And then I go and do my next set, and then I'm like focused and in there. And as soon as I get up again, he pops up in my head again, and it's like, no, maybe it's this Friday. You should check. And I'm like, I couldn't shake the feeling. I'm like, okay, middle of the workout, I go check, and it was a Monday, and it's like his event was on Tuesday, and I'm like, oh well, I can still wish it to him. So I'm like, I wrote in the announcements on Discord, I'm like, hey, good luck to this person, and I was like, you're gonna kill it, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And then I write him that message, and he goes, I was just thinking about you this morning. And I was like, there's your thought transmission. I'm like, perfect example. But I was in the middle of doing something I couldn't shake the feeling of just someone, like not just some guy, but like someone who's been a part of the channel for a while. But it's like I had completely forgotten. I have all these other things going on. And I was really focused into this workout, but no matter how focused I was, it pulls me out. Just like my SP used to say, she's like, no matter how much I tried to shake losing my feelings for you, you would keep popping up in my head. And she goes, and I had left a relationship of 7 years, somebody I had kids with, all these like other relationships. Like, if the people who don't know, my SP is older than me, so she's been around longer. She's been in longer relationships. She goes, everyone. I was just like, whatever, we're done and done, and I don't think about them. She goes, with you, I could never shake it, and I was like, well, I have this ability.
Well, um, one, yes, sensitive. It does mean that you're connected. Um, I don't know about the same frequency, but yes, it does mean that you're connected part. But I do want to say and mention that if the person that you're thinking about is not reaching out to you, it probably means that there's a little bit of a resistance and a story behind why they're not reaching out. Or,
Yes.
like Nick said, the person wants to reach out, but they got other things that they have going on. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It just
Yes.
means that you just have to continue persisting and keep going and break down that resistance barrier. I know when I was working with manifesting my ex back when I initially found law of assumption in 2020.
Yes.
Um, we had gone a period of no contact, and during that time, I was, doing my affirmations. I was, saying that he's always thinking about me. He was doing this and he was doing that. And right around maybe like, he would reach out and I would ignore him. Like during that time, he would reach out, but I would be ignoring him. Like I would open his messages and leave him unread. I was like, nope, I'm not acknowledging this. And so one of my manifesting buddies, I told her, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna manifest him saying Merry Christmas to me. And he ended up reaching out. He said Merry Christmas. I told him Merry Christmas back. That was it. Maybe a couple of weeks later, like a couple of days later, he sends me a message, a playful message. He starts flirting. He starts engaging with me. Then I
Yes.
start, interacting with him. We hang out, go to his house, we hang out. Then he starts to tell me, oh, by the way, I dreamt about you. I couldn't get you out of my head. No matter how much I tried, you would just be like, I would be mad at you and I still would think about you. You would just be popping up in my dreams in the background. The dream wouldn't even be about you and you would be in the dream. I'd be like, I don't know. And I was just laughing. I was like, mm, do I tell him? No, yeah, no. I just find it so much, I found it so humorous. Like, how he would just say that. And so, just because they're not reaching out, just because they're not saying anything, doesn't mean they're not thinking.
Yeah, it's like if they got even like, and it's like eventually it's going to get to the point where it's like they're so overwhelmed by it, they are going to and have no other choice but to reach out because something's going to pop up. Where it's like, what was this? Even this person that I know, she did my taxes, and she's a close friend of mine, and she's very into the spiritual community, this and that. So I went by my parents' house because I had to get the cover for my motorcycle. I used to store my motorcycle there. I went to go get it because it was about to rain. I stopped there and I see my dad going through all this stuff. This was the bridge of events on Monday. So I was like, and I see him stressing out. I'm like, hey, I have someone who could do the taxes. And then I send her a message and she's like, yeah, we reach out. She goes, we could stop by, bring them over. So I wound up stopping by. We catch up and all these, like this inner conversation I had with her, that plays out. All these things that I was thinking about telling this lady, they play out because my dad had to get the taxes done and I knew somebody who was able to do it. It was a last minute thing and I run him over. I was like, wow, that really just, that was the bridge of incidents when I had thought about her a couple times in the past few weeks. And she's like, I actually thought about you a couple times too. So I'm like, I was thinking about her. She was thinking about me. What came first, the chicken or the egg? They'll never know. That's why when the person chooses to be with you again, it happens in their own normal, natural way because the bridge of events will unfold where it's like, I would have never reached out to her unless it was something that had to get done and it was an emergency where I was helping somebody else. So
Yeah, and that's like kind of like the interesting part. Like that's kind of like the interesting part. You just don't know. And I mean, then I wasn't feeling good on Monday, so it was that kind of anticipated. And um, as far as what I did for them to feel that way, that was during the period which I will not go into where my self concept was not the greatest. So I'm
yes,
going to hold myself accountable. I take ownership of where I went wrong, but truth be told, I wish and send my ex love and light. That man is not sugar honey iced tea. I just love the light though. But yeah,
that's
because that was during a period where it was just not. Yeah, I'm in obviously in a 10 times better place than what I was before, but I did not make the best decisions when I had a low self concept. Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna just wanted to say that.
Well, it kind of
Okay,
goes back
great.
to what Neville says about the what do you call it? He goes, you could choose the wrong person. He goes, I chose the wrong woman. He goes, to be fair, she chose the wrong man. And then and he was talking about the, and it was like, so it's very hard. I think it's almost the thing where it's like, like when you manifest the SP, it's like some people wind up, and myself included, sometimes it's like you get into that reflective state. It's like, do I need to be here? Should I not be in this relationship? And then the more I had those thoughts and I dwelled in it and sat in a relationship and started thinking, it's like almost sometimes like you're like, the channel had seen my breakup happen and come back. It's like I had done the whole manifestation. They seen a breakup happen. And the whole time I was thinking, I'm like, should I not be in this? Should I not? Okay, maybe I need to be a sign. And I'm having all these things of it ending. And then we end up going through a breakup. And then I'm like, okay, no, that's what I did want. And I went back. But it's like when you have that whole, what do you call it? Sometimes it's out of ego, I think, that you would stay in a relationship too, especially like in my case, we're staying there because, oh, it's who I am, part of the channel. It's not who I am. But it's like I had to go back where it was better.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, and that's valid. That makes a lot of sense. Like that does make a lot of sense. And no, it does not matter who the thought transmission's coming from because it could go vice versa. Just
Yeah.
it's gonna be a series of events that transpire.
And you have to trust that it's like it doesn't matter. It's your end goal. It's like thinking about thought transmission. I feel like is a bridge. It's something to help you through a bridge. If you can't focus on the end, then you focus on thought transmission because it's something you could do now, feeling like because you're doing this, they're feeling that. But at the same time, they're feeling, I'm thinking this. So if they reach out, they're like, it's like they'll never know, and you don't know. It's like it's going to feel when it happens so normal, effortlessly, and naturally. I would say.
That's a good question.
Well, I'm gonna throw the live on with the mystic manifesting because this is a good.
Wait, that is a good question. Wait, that is an actual like. That is a very valid, good question that I do not have the answer to. I don't.
I gotta hit the intro real quick. What's up, Mystic Manifesting family? Nick here with the Queen of Manifesting, and I'm gonna try to do this in my most ghetto way possible because I didn't have a setup for this. But look at, I don't know if she's manifested this, but the Queen of Manifesting has been a part of Mystic Manifesting family for a long time, and I didn't know it till recently. She reached out to collab with me, and I've been working on TikTok lately. So she's on TikTok if you guys want. I'm on TikTok live right now, but you'll be able to hear our conversation hopefully. And we're going over here. We're talking thought transmission. So Divine Tempest, what's up? Okay, and now we go back to the question. This is the first time where I'm turning more towards the TikTok side. But we're on TikTok, guys. So if you want to kick off with the question, we're on thought transmission to the topic.
So the question that is being asked is, can you have transmission with someone who has passed?
Oh, like passed away?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you can because I kind of do that. That's like you create kind of an environment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's like 3D wise. It's like my environment is like my condo kind of has the vibes of my grandma's apartment, and it's like okay. And then I just have the inner conversations with her. I would say not as much thought transmission because, and from my experience of talking to mediums and being friends with mediums, you're a friend with a medium, so it's like you kind of know like what I've discovered in it. The mediums kind of go into the place of creation, like the manifesting stuff, and then they go there. So like there's a lot of similarities, but what I've noticed is. I mean, I've had the inner conversations with Neville, and like that's a whole other thing. We could get into that, but it's like with my grandma too, and it's like, and you trust whatever you're going to say, and then you kind of intuitively know, and that's how you're getting the answer. And that's what I've understood from mediums, and I think that we're all psychic and medium to a degree.
Yeah, I've been having dreams of my son's father who passed away about 8 years ago. The dreams feel so freaking real. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that that could happen. And then there's also the near, like, Joe Myra said, you should really check the near death experiences. Yeah, those things, I've been doing my research on near death experiences because I have a strong, highly interest in parapsychology, which if those of you do not know, parapsychology is basically the study of like, psychokinesis. It's also the study of telekinesis, telepathy, near-death experiences, and consciousness and stuff like that. So when I do my research, I go into depth of all of that stuff. It is my little side obsession outside of the brain too.
Yeah.
But if you didn't also know this, Sigmund Freud also talks about thought transmission,
Yeah.
except he does not, at the time when he wrote a paper on thought transmission and what it was, he didn't want anybody to know about it.
Okay,
Like,
see, I
he's
didn't
like,
know
this
that
is a
much about it,
bad,
but
he's
I
like,
know
this
a
is a
little
bad
bit
idea.
about Freud, but not a ton.
Yeah, he's like, nope, this is a bad idea. He felt like people were gonna misuse it, so he's like, no. So that was his way of thinking at the time, and I was like, well, damn, okay, yeah, it was good. It was a good read.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, I'm looking too. I'm watching both the chats. I moved you closer so I could watch them both. They're talking about Carl Jung. Courtney says Carl Jung was into all this as well. Yes, Bob. Yes, I usually do lives on Monday. This is me making it up because Bridge of Incidents that I talked about on here ruined me from getting onto here. But guess what? It's working out in our favor because Bob, I don't ever see you on the Mondays usually commenting. So now you're here. So there's another way it worked out. What do you do to make SP go from no contact to obsessed and completely obsessed? Um, well, it's kind of like we could kind of coast off that question too if you want, unless you have one here, and then we'll go back to Bob because
Like
you're
when
hosting. Well, I'm a guest right now on TikTok, guys, and
someone's
I figured to incorporate you.
before you even say it. Yeah, that part, that is true. The like when you know someone know the way that someone's gonna say before you even say it. That part is definitely true. But
What do they say?
as far as that question goes, do you really see? I don't. How can I put this? And please do not take this do not take this the wrong way. I think it's somewhere in the manifesting community, not everybody, but some. I think somewhere we forget to we should be very weary and very careful with the words that we want to use when it comes to what we are manifesting. Do you actually really want someone to be obsessed with you? Like,
Yes,
I don't
that's a good
think
point.
it's that you want someone to be obsessed with you. You want somebody to be completely enamored by you. Like, there's
Yeah,
those of us who have experienced obsession and it's not good. If you've watched movies about
yes,
obsession or whatever, like it's usually not good. So get to the root of why you want that, but also look at
very true.
examples of what healthy love looks like.
Yeah. Here's a point I would make on that as well is because I've gone through that once where it was like, okay, there was a time where I was not with SP and I decided I'm like, okay, I'm going to manifest this person. Boom, boom, boom. I label out all this, like if you've seen the channel, you know, like I did the thing, you list out a method of, oh, this is ideal specific person, right? So I list out the ideal specific person. That woman came in. It's like, okay, yeah, she's good looking, she's cool, she's funny, she's this, that. She was very obsessed, and obsession was the thing I was kind of thinking like, oh, I wanted my SP to be like that, but then I realized, like you said, why do you want that? Then dealing with it through this, it's like I have no life. I can't call up my friends. You're calling me. You're blowing up my phone. You're doing this. You're doing that. It's like, and I only knew this woman for like 3 weeks, and it's like, and she is like all over me, and I'm like, this is annoying. It's making me mad. Like it's a job. I don't like that. So like you said, be careful what you ask for. Like it's careful what
You
you wish
just
for. You
might
might
get
get
it.
it. And like the obsession thing sucked, and it was like I didn't like that. And I would also the point I was going to add to it is like you said, why do you want it? And it's like wanting someone to be obsessed with you. I believe to a degree, and Bob, don't take it the wrong way, or nobody else take this the wrong way, that wanting someone to be obsessed with you is because you're coming from a point of low self concept. To feel good, you need someone to be worshiping you like a god. Like, I really want you. I want you to do the best thing in the world. Because you can't even feel confident enough in yourself to be like, no, I'm good with if I have this and if I don't have it. Not saying you won't get it, but it's like when you accept that reality of like, okay, there's reality I don't have it. There's reality where I do. I choose to be happy and loved no matter what, because really you're the one giving yourself the love the whole time.
Yeah. And I think I think that's a perfect that's a perfect example. Like I know when with for example with my ex, that man would come on my block when he didn't need to be on my block. He would take pictures of my car. Like he would get off a train stop earlier than when he was supposed to. Just and then ask me. He would be like, "Are you home?" No, no.
Yeah.
Can you leave me alone? Like, stop.
Yeah,
Like,
all of a sudden you lose your freedom. What's the consequence of someone being obsessed? You don't have a life no more.
yeah, like I don't want that no more. Like, what do you want? Like, leave me alone. Now I don't
Yeah,
want you because this is too
exactly.
much.
That's why I
Like,
say
that's
add more. That's why I say add more to your life than just SP. Because everybody's like, once I get this SP, I can be happy. No, you have to be happy now. Two, you have to have other things going on because you're going to be so up each other's asses. Even if they really love you and you really love them, you're going to get annoyed the fuck with that person because it's like even like in this thing of like where me and Lily, it's like everything was manifested as perfect. It's like there are times where I don't feel like hanging out and she don't feel like hanging out. And that's the nice part about when we don't live together. That's why I will not manifest that. I mean, there were some things coming up where I felt like, okay, we need to because of certain circumstances, but it's like I really don't want this person. I don't really want that to happen. But it's like, if you care about someone, you're going to do it. But it's like I like the space that we have.
yeah, it's that space that it definitely needs to get that person's space, which is something that I'm currently going through right now. Is keeping a little bit of a distance between me and my SC right now, which is not easy, but it's something that I need to do because I'm like, all right, why am I? It's a need to do because I have to take a step back in the sense of I have to allow him the space and time that he needs to show up as the version of himself that I would like him to be for me.
Yeah, exactly. That was something too. That's like because you're also long distance, right? Is your
Yeah.
circumstance? Well, circumstances don't matter, but that's something that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I also
so,
switched after our call, after our live last week. I also switched my affirmation tape to gratitude and a gratitude affirmation tape instead.
just like what we were talking about too. It's like people underestimate the gratitude, and that message has been coming up a lot this week, which was something I wanted to talk about in the Monday live if that was able to happen. But it's like then the gratitude has paid off so much more this week. It's actually on my list of videos to film after this. Like I've got a long list of stuff that I'm going to knock out for the week, which is how I work in mine. And then I'll just sit on TikTok while I'm bored. It's like 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, and I just find 1 minute of me being coherent, which is hard to find, but it will be there. Like, and then that's where I'll get it from.
And then
That's
see, so thought transmission came up, which you said you got a video of first thing, then the
yes,
gratitude, and sensitive over here talking about trippy. Okay, trippy. I found a book called Trippy today. So
damn. Look at
synchronicities right
that.
there.
All the synchronicities lining up. I guarantee, I'm like, at the end of this, I should run another room and grab the list of videos I'm going to make and see how many of the topics have come up.
More than likely, then probably quite a few of them is gonna come up because yeah, there quite a few of them are probably gonna come up. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, it's almost like the list method. Like, well, people call it the list method. I keep calling it that now because that's what everyone wants to call it. It was called mini manifestations when I learned it, where you just write out all these little things that you're not really attached to, and then you experience them and like you put them down as if they already happened, and think about them while you're writing them. Close the book, don't look at it again, and then while making a mystic video talking about, you know what, I manifested this. And what else did I manifest? Oh, I did that. I did that. I did that. And it's like, wow, I didn't expect that.
Did not expect it. Like, there's been so many things that I feel like I would not expect to happen, but they end up happening, and it's like, oh wait, what?
Yeah,
Like, how did that happen? Like, why is it seeing their name and hearing their name every day? Synchronicity, yes.
yeah. Everything's a sign if you make it a sign.
Like, I wholeheartedly think everything is like everything, you give everything meaning.
Exactly. Nothing has. I like that thing from Bashar where it's like nothing has any meaning to it until you give it a meaning. Which it's like because I always use the example something can be really horrible to you, but don't mean shit to somebody else. And then so it's really there's no meaning to it. It's just a meaning to that person and their interpretation of it, which kind of goes along with change the way you look at things and things you look at change.
That part. Oh, side note, guys, don't forget to keep double tapping on the live because the more you guys double tap the live and you share the live, the more it pushes out the live on the For You page. So keep double tapping on the live so that more people can see
We don't have
this
that.
amazing live. This does not apply for YouTube though. I
No,
know
it
you
doesn't
guys.
work for us over here.
Yeah,
You
only
see
on
us?
TikTok. Um, but yeah, you gotta give things a good meaning. Like I started doing that too, where I was like, okay, this just means I'm getting what I want. This just means I'm closer. This just means I'm this. This did like I just started saying that everything is just serving me. I got that from Tiffany, Tiff on
Um,
her channel.
I
Her
don't know
name
who
is
that is.
Tiffany Grande.
Okay.
She's on YouTube, but she's also on here. But I got that from her where she's like, everything serves me.
Yeah. That's a good, yeah, that's almost like that everything's working out in your favor. You can't fuck this up. You got this. All the, my favorite
Yeah, all
affirmations.
the positive thing, like all the positive things. Like signs are like signs are what you make of them, but also like signs are what you make of them. But at the same time, they're like as much as I don't want to manifest signs, if you use signs to your advantage, like I know when I manifest certain things, if I see something that is a sign for what I'm manifesting, I'll be like, oh, um, yeah, that means I'm getting what I want, but I'll also get use that as a time to say my affirmations really quickly, like if I'm
Yeah.
out and about, like so it helps.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not that. I think the reason people get more signs and not the manifestation at times is because they look at it and like it. There's part of them. Whether it's on their core of their being or up front that they just say they're like, oh man, it's another sign. And like they're annoyed with the sign, so now you have to get what you're annoyed at because that caused an emotional reaction. The sign is supposed to make you feel calm. Like I'm thinking of this one particular time where I was out at this walking trail that me and SP used to walk together. And when I got into the filmmaking and stuff like that, this park was like something I used for all this stuff. I would go there to feel calm. I was having a panic attack. I was listening to Robert Zink back then, and I remember him saying the Hawks are like a sign of something, especially when they're out of season. And I don't even know
Yeah.
what season they are. I just told myself they're out of season, and look, there's three of them. And I just sat down on the ground and I was just like taking deep breaths and relaxing. I'm like, wow, I'm like, that means that SP's here. Wow, it feels really good to have SP with me. And like, that was what the bird no longer means anything. A bird was just a symbol to trigger the mentality that you need to be in the end state, which
Yep.
otherwise it's just a bird. To everyone on the expressway nearby and in that park, they saw a bird. I went into my end scene.
So yeah, they don't like to everybody else. It's like yeah, just a bird. To you, it has significant meaning, but it brought you to sit and dwell in your end scene, end state.
Yeah, that's what I would use. That if I'm using angel numbers, any of that other stuff, it's like to me they mean nothing until I give them a meaning, and it's like I'm not looking for them, but when I see them, okay, end scene, and then instead in it or affirmation, or whatever, just enough to calm me down real quick.
Yeah, and that's I think when you do it that like that, it makes the process. When you do it like that, it makes the process so much easier. You're so much more relaxed because you know that it's done, and you're not
Exactly.
doing the affirmations or whatever technique that you're doing to like get something. You're doing it to remind yourself, but also to know that you already have it
Yeah,
because you
that's a
can't
great
want
point
something
you're making
that
too.
you already have.
Yeah, it's a reminder that you already have it. I like that.
That's how I like to look at it. It's like you already have it. And like even if the 3D is like showing you like the opposite of what you get, it's like, oh, well, I can't get like just because you're seeing the opposite doesn't mean that it can't change or that you're not going to get what you want
Yeah,
because you're
I
still
always see that's where the "you can't fuck this up" affirmation comes in for me because and it's all working out in your favor because whenever something happens, and I actually had somebody reach out to me today because they were checking in why I wasn't on live and they were worried about where I was on Monday. So, because I also have my Snapchat linked, so like he sent me a message on Snapchat, and he said that whenever, and it made my day because he's like, whenever something's happening in my life, because I just keep thinking about you can't fuck this up, and how is this working out in my favor, which is what I want to instill in people. When something bad happens, you say, how is this working out in my favor? I mean, it was like it was one of the things where like when me and my SP became official, like the night before, I didn't know if I wanted to be with her, and then she wanted to, and then not, and I was just in that moment. We wound up getting in a fight. She goes, "I'm gonna walk out," and I was literally cool with it. I'm like, "I'm cool. This has been a long journey. I don't really care." But then I'm like, "How is this working out in my favor? We both only had 2 drinks. We both have a high tolerance. Why are we drunk right now? Why are the circumstances lining up this way? There should be no fight. This fight came out of nowhere." And then I'm like, "How is this working out in my favor? This is probably going to lead to a relationship or something really good's going to come out of this." And that was my mentality. And then it turned around to like, a passionate night and then being official. Like it was like, which was a manifestation that I had, but I wasn't sure about. And in that moment, I'm like, okay, what's rule number one of manifest? Like I'm talking to myself. So no matter what's going on the outside or how things are being destroyed on the outside, when you go within and it's like, okay, how's this working out in my favor? And I'm doing all the techniques, and it's like, wouldn't it be wonderful if this led to this? You know what? What's the number one rule of manifesting? Know exactly what you want. Okay, I think I do want a relationship with this person. I decided it right there in an instant that, okay, this is definitely what I want, even though it's through a fight right now. Okay, and I start going through all, like, I just had a whole inner thing, and then next thing you know, we're in the passionate embrace, and then I'm like, oh, wait, we're official. Like, I was in my head the whole time this stuff in the 3D was blowing up.
See? See?
It's all happens in the mind first.
And we don't get to see, and then that goes to show you that proves to us that we also don't get to control the how or the when that something happens either.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have been my how if I had to choose. Like, but
Exactly.
it makes it better. It makes the story better. It's almost like if we're the writer of the story, where's the excitement if we already know everything that's going to happen? That's where the bridges unfold in a weird way because we need some kind of excitement to shake it up. We also need some kind of problems to make life interesting. And you would never know how great the best things are if you never experienced the worst. Those are like the way I look at those things.
Yeah, that part. And then to add to to make this interesting. So Monday I was like, I was gonna go to this place, it's called Hudson Medical. It's where I would go to get my physical therapy.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm gonna go to Hudson Medical. And that was the same day that we were supposed to go that was the same day we were supposed to go live. So I'm sitting
Yes.
there and I'm like, you know, I had a series of events. When I went to Hudson Medical, it turned out that Hudson Medical closed down their physical therapy part. I'm like, okay, how's this gonna work out?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? I don't know how this is gonna happen, but okay, whatever. So then they refer me to another place. They tell me, oh, there's another place at the block that offers physical therapy. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'll go there, go check them out. But they're like, oh, we can only you can only go there if you have a referral. And I'm like, damn, I really need to start physical therapy, but I really don't. And now I gotta wait until Monday. I gotta wait until next Monday to get a referral. So I go to the place to try to, get squeezed in. They do an evaluation on me and everything. And so I'm like, I still can't see the physical therapist people. I still can't do this, but all right, I don't know how this is gonna work out. And then today I realized that I have actually an appointment on Monday that I have to go to for my Botox for my migraines. Come to find out, I went there yesterday. Hey, I have an appointment on Monday. Can we switch it early to like today or something so that I could be seen? Like, is it possible? They literally rearranged the schedule to fit me in for today. And I went, took the referrals over to the thing. They gave me 3 referrals, even gave me a referral for occupational therapy for my neck and my shoulders because I have knots, like really bad knots in my neck and my
Yeah.
shoulders. And they said that can be contributing to why I get migraines. So I'm like, all right, cool. They were able to see I got occupational therapy and therapy today. They did the stimulation stuff. They did heating pack. Like they did like the heating, like this heating thingy with vibration.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that at the other place.
Yeah. And that's how it's worked. Yeah. So it wound up working out in your favor. And sometimes, like, I feel like people
I
don't
got more.
appreciate those stories enough. Those stories excite me just as much, if not more, than the SP ones because it's instant and stuff that shows that you're always manifesting. Like, I've had people in the past, and to each their own, but the truth of it is, you're never not manifesting. So it's like, okay, just an inconvenience of being shuffled around in medical stuff. How is this working out in my favor? Worked out better than it could have ever worked out for you. And it's like that. So some people will be like, oh, well, that's not getting your ex back. No, that's even better because it's something on your day to day that now it's like, wow, this is something that's helping your health, your well being, your mind, and giving you a great success story. So it's like right off the bat, you got a whole bunch of good things to it. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. Now, what does tomorrow hold? That's why it's like when people ask me about, oh, how do I manifest on a time crunch? One of the affirmations I always add to that list is I'm no more than 2 weeks away from a miracle because your core being knows that, okay, I want this SP, I want this job, I want this certain thing. But no more than 2 weeks from away from a miracle, you're going to start looking for miracles. And then in that, here's the method to why I do that. In case you guys never knew over here, the reason I do that is you're looking for a miracle, and then every day you're going to find one because whatever you look for, you will find. What we seek, we find. And then so, hi, what's up, guys? Sienna, John, Josh, what's up, guys? It's hard. I'm being hosted as a guest by the Queen of Manifesting on TikTok. Give her a follow if you guys are on TikTok.
Yeah, so that's like the beauty, like that definitely is the beauty of it. Like you don't, it makes it. That's why I love. Hey, Lily, I haven't seen you in like forever.
Oh, I
That's why
thought you were
I
talking about
love.
my SP. I'm like, she's here now?
Wait, your SP's name is Lily too?
Yeah. There's some
Synchronicity.
synchronicity.
See, synchronicity. What do
Yeah.
you know? So I think that's like the beauty, like that's the beauty of it because you don't. It's like those little things, but it's still that premise. Like even with just like even with the first day of being in physical therapy and stuff, I feel better. I feel calmer. I feel more
Yeah.
relaxed. I feel good. I'm able to, I'm able to do random things and have this conversation. Like even with just being able to have this conversation is like a random thing because you hit me up and you're like, oh, do you want to go live today? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You feel healthy enough to do it. Like, it was funny too. I woke wait. I was early this morning, right when I messaged you. I'm like, you know what? Today's the day. I'm like, because yesterday I was so tired. I tried to. I'm like, here's another thing too. When I talk about following your passion, it's like I was so tired yesterday. It's like we're trained and conditioned. You got to grind, hustle, and if you got to put out a shitload of videos every day. Keep putting stuff out there. It's like no, one, I need patience because when I used to do comedy, we would film like weeks worth of videos and I would post them all within 3 days because I was so excited and I wanted people to see them, and then the algorithm would fuck it up and I had the assumption it wasn't going to hit. But it's like I'm like, no, this is teaching me patience, lay back, and then at the same time though, it's like the main reason for it is if I don't feel passionate to make a video right now, then I'm just going to force myself to make shit. It's just going to be sitting there. Oh, this is something else I talked about. I'm looking around, like thinking of something. It's like I'm going to bring 100%, which is always what I stood for. If I'm not 100%, I won't take a client. If I'm not 100%, I won't go live. I won't do a video. So when you don't see me, it's usually either something that's really come up or I'm not 100%, not because of anything negative. It's just because my mind isn't there. And I'm not going to talk about important information without my mind being there. And then in the long run, it's like, look, I wound up being more successful than I ever thought I would by just following those core principles and my passion of like. So last night I was really feeling like I got to do this, I got to do this, and it's like, what is my highest passion? I really need rest. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't come here, and like my body was just telling me I'm tired. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen and respect my body and myself, and I put myself as a priority. And look at Wanda today, finally getting this collab in and getting it on your channel, and now your channel's working again, and then boom, I kept thinking, I'm like, I owe Mystic, but it's like, it's going to be better. I'm like, I don't know why it's going to be better, but Bob, I don't remember seeing you in many of the lives, maybe a long time ago, but I'm used to do everyone's name. Cyan, I haven't seen you in a minute for sure. John, you're always here. Josh, you're always here. Divine Fempress, I've not seen in a long time. Or Courtney, I haven't seen you in a long time. So it's like, boom, all that, everybody was able to make it now.
See, look at how that worked out. Like,
Yeah,
look at how that worked out. It always works out better than we can ever imagine.
exactly.
Literally, every single time.
Your mind and your
Like,
speech, and it's like just saying those things. It's like it's people. Oh, it's just saying something positive. No, but the more you say it, the more you believe it. It's an imprint now.
literally, it is. And see, now I just got a sign. See, now I
All
just got a
good.
synchronicity right when we're on this live because there's a somebody with my SP's name on here. See what we do
Oh,
there? See, see what happened?
there you go.
He's thinking about me. See, he's thinking about me.
There you go.
He's
Because
thinking about me.
he's always thinking about you. That's why. This is just the
Literally.
icing on the top.
See? See how that goes? See? Just
Yeah.
minding my own business and he sends his name on my live. Like what? Minding
Yep.
my own business. Gonna just minding my business. Do you use inner conversations?
Oh, we were just talking about that a little bit. I do.
I mean, yes and no. I use them to an extent, and it depends. And I say that because it depends on it depends on who I'm having an inner conversation with, and it depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say that, yeah, it kind of goes with the flow. Like I always use my analogy of the bat utility belt. It's like certain things. It's like manifesting money. It's like I tried to do the visualizing for it and stuff like that, and I did have success visualizing it. But usually money's come well through affirmations, and I'm not an affirmation guy. It's like the SP thing. I've used every method, and that's all worked. But especially with a specific person, inner conversations help because it's like my affirmations turn into inner conversations, the inner conversations turn into affirmations, both of which, after doing them enough time, I only do them when I'm feeling anxious or needy or if it naturally comes up. Like it's like I think about them and it's like, oh man, even if it's like I have an inner conversation with a boss I used to have, it doesn't have to be a romantic person. I didn't like this guy. He was screwing me out of a position that I wasn't where I was supposed to get. And I pictured his wife having an my inner conversation was him and his wife talking about how he's screwing me over. Just like I call that the eavesdropping technique, but that's technically an inner conversation. Then I pictured him telling me about that. So I watched that scene play out again and again, so I felt better. And then I imagined, then it's just like, imagine how you would feel. Imagine how you would feel. And then I wound up going into another conversation with me and him telling him how he screwed me over. And his wife told him that he shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. And then I run into him, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, this is wrong that I did that. So it's like that played out. So, but it felt natural. So whatever feels natural, it's like not so much I have to always do inner conversations to get it, or I have to affirm, or I have to do whatever. It's whatever comes your way and feels natural. It's like I call it the bat utility belt. So some things are going to work. It's like you're manifesting utility belt. Oh, grappling hook? Okay, affirmation. Knockout gas? Going to sleep with the end desire or whatever. It's like just whatever feels good in that moment. And it's like second nature. Yeah. It's like when Batman's in action, what's he do? It's second nature. He grabs whatever he needs and does it. The mystics grab whatever we need and we do what we got to do.
Basically. And then for me, it's like, I've had an experience when it came to using inner conversations where, you guys know and see that I have a thing for psychedelic research.
Yeah.
That's another one of my little things. I had an experience with taking cannabis, and the night before this said experience, my SP and me took a lot of gummies, and I was only had the intention of taking one or two, but he decided my ex-XP, not my new one.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, take more, and I was like, no, I'm good with the one or the one or the two. Took more than that, woke up still being high, and then we went to this like house because he had bought a house or whatever, and we went to this house that needed to be like redone. And he was meeting with some contractor. And so I'm sitting downstairs and he's upstairs talking to the contractor. And I'm like, I want something to do, but I don't feel like going upstairs. But I really want something to do, but like, I don't really want to go upstairs. And I'm like literally going back and forth in my head about going upstairs, about wanting something to do. Not even like 5 seconds later, hey, I got a job for you. What? Get out of my head, please. Like, get out of my head. I was like, what are you doing? Get out of my head. He's like, I need you to take pictures of the house with Jerome. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But it was so weird. I was like, hey, what are you doing? Out of my head. I was literally just contemplating about how I wanted to go upstairs. Oh no!
An instant. What happened?
I don't know what just happened.
You lagged for a second, but. It's got cutting out a little bit.
Okay, can you see? Yeah, I also just had a moment of another person calling me telepathy.
Oh, there you go.
Right there. Anyways, there's another telepathy moment right there for you guys. But that moment, I was just like, okay, this is so weird. Like, what is happening? Like, why are you doing this? I can't believe that, like, it was just so weird at that moment. And I vowed, like, after that, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing that again because it scared me. But now I'm just like, you know what? Now I see the value of it. Now I see the value.
Yeah. And the point of it was to show you everything's instant. Manifestation is instant. And sometimes, and I don't advocate this, but sometimes in those under the influence situations, it is a little bit easier to manifest or at least relax yourself into the state. it's a cheat code in a way, but do not follow my advice or ever say I told you that. I will say that when I was going through my stuff with SP and I was drinking heavily and I wouldn't recommend it, but I took from Neville's thing and I was like, man, you know what? This is I'm like, it worked for him, so it'll work for me. Because when you listen to what Neville drank and then some of his stuff, it's like, god damn. Like he was, I don't drink much, and he was like a couple martinis after dinner and this and that, and it's like, damn, Neville, like you could party. But it's like I knew that he was good at manifesting, and he talked about it. So it was like, oh, you know what? I took it under those circumstances, but I don't recommend it like that. I do know I was a better gambler though when I was like that. It kind of removes the inhibition, but the point of it is that's a cheat code. The point of it is we want to get ourselves to this state without what do you call it? We want to get to that state without oh, thank you, Gary. Gary says that my me opening and closing fidget spinner is very audible. Thank you, Gary.
Okay.
Did nobody hear any of that over here?
I didn't hear you because you froze.
What's that?
You froze for like a good set. Like you froze for like a good
You're frozen now.
second.
Oh, I just went on a whole
That.
speech too. I went on a whole speech.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm like you were on like such a good speech and tangent. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, well, hey, everything worked out for our favor because I'm like, I wonder if anyone's going to notice this. I have the cigar cutter and I keep doing that with it. And Gary just sent me a message. If you guys don't know, he's my editor and my friend and former client. He's like, oh, it's very audible when you're doing that. And I keep doing it like as a fidget spinner. I play with stuff on the desk. I'll switch to this lighter to spin around. But he's like, I could hear it. So it stopped me from my roll. And then you're like, hey, you're frozen. I'm like, oh, well, that's why that had to happen. So thank you, Gary, because that stopped me, and that was a synchronicity moment.
Synchronicity. See, look how that works. Look how
Because I don't even
that
remember the
works.
tangent I was on. Somebody remind me. Oh, you're frozen again. You're frozen again. Hold on.
No.
Okay, let's see.
Is it working now? Is it working
Love you
now?
too, brother.
Is it working now? Hey, Dr. Spiritual.
Ink said Neville's drinking and
And
you're gambling. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, Neville's drinking and my gambling was what the topic was. Yeah, let's not preach that message as much. But the point is, sometimes when people smoke, my only experiences with smoking cannabis were because I wanted to keep making out with SP and she was smoking, so I was blowing in my mouth and I didn't even inhale. I used the cigar method and just puffed it out. But the drinking, yes, I felt like a better manifester at times with that, but it doesn't make you a better manifester. The point is, what drinking does, it removes your inhibitions and your fears and your anxieties. The point is, we want to mentally do that on our own. That was the point I was trying to make. Because now I can get myself
yeah,
into that state without that.
basically. I think even this is like relaxing. Like even this helps to get you into that state. Like just having like this conversation and whatnot. Like usually like I have like this severe like in the past I've had this like pressure in the front of my forehead and I'm like, I don't like this. Like I don't know where it comes from. It's just like a random pressure that randomly comes about. I don't know
Yeah.
how to make it stop. But I can tell you one thing, I did not have it at any point in time today whatsoever. I don't even have it right now.
Yeah.
I'm so cool, calm, and collected, and I'm like, oh yeah, that man, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Like I can manifest him in my sleep, literally.
Exactly, and you're going to. That's what you do when you go to sleep. You manifest in your sleep. The most powerful
I
time.
literally have woken up from cat naps. I'm notorious for taking cat naps and taking these naps, and I will wake up with something that I needed,
Yeah, I've noticed
literally.
that too. I'm notorious for cat naps too, that where I wake up and the sun's down and I'm sweating. But usually the manifestation is after that. It's like it starts at 3 in the afternoon and goes till 9 at night. But I wake up with
Yeah,
it. Sometimes when I'm very anxious, I'm just like, I trust myself and the manifesting ability so much that I'm going to go to, I force myself into meditation, which will force me into sleep. And it's like, I know that I can't deal with this right now. I can't do sats. I can't do anything right now. I'm so anxious. I just need to go to sleep. And there was a point when I was first learning to manifest SP that I don't recommend this either, but I depressed slept, but turned it into positive sleeping. And it's like the more I sleep, the more closer I get to SP. So anything and everything is a tool and a science. So I'm like, the more I sleep, the closer we get. And she's thinking about me doing stuff, but what happened? She was living her life. My friends and family were living their life. People were inviting me, and I was doing that. So my point is, live your life. Don't. This is the end all be all. I need this person, and then I can be happy. Now you can be happy right now. I don't care what anybody says. It took me a long time to learn that lesson, but you're going to regret if you don't do that.
No, that's true. You do have to essentially just live your life. If you're not living your life, it's like what the heck, like what the heck,
Yeah,
like what are you doing? It's like okay, example, my SP he works. Um, I love some SP conversations, healthy conversations. Of course,
from what?
healthy conversations. We only do healthy conversations.
Yeah,
Like example, like if I'm sitting here, like if I'm not living my life and I know that my SP is he works a job like he goes to work as a manager from 9 to 5, and then he comes home, he's taking care of business and he's doing what he got to do, and then he comes on here and he's streaming for hours playing his video games, like he's streaming right
yeah,
now, like he gets on at this time and he goes on and streaming.
yeah,
But what am I doing? I'm on here with you.
exactly.
Instead of going and harassing him and lurking on his thing, I'm on here having these conversations. I'm on here living my
Yeah,
life.
that's the point I wanted to make, and you're making it perfectly. It's like, yeah, you live your life because there was a time where it's like I couldn't do anything. If I went out with my friends to do something, it was because I'm trying to prove it because I know SP's out right now. So I'm going to go out and do something because I have a life too. But really, I'm checking Snap. What is she doing now? What is she? So I'm not living it. I was just there. And it's like the important thing is you're here, you're engaged, and you're having fun and living your life while he's doing his thing.
Yep.
But because you trust so much in the process of like, oh, we're together, things are good. I'm not worried about that. And that's the point of breaking through. It's like if you were to get your manifestation instantly and have your SP, you didn't learn or grow anything, then you might still be with that person in the relationship, but then lurking on their thing and then forgetting who you are. So the process is,
Yeah.
it's almost a way to force you to be yourself and love yourself before it begins. It's what
Yep. That part. It,
yeah.
what I do is if anybody else wants to take this little thing out of my book, what I've done is I muted him.
My, she's
Instead of
actually still muted all this time later.
I had muted my SP for like I don't know when he posts, so I muted his posts. I don't know when he's messaging. Don't I have no idea when he's messaging me because he's restricted for he's in the restricted area.
Yeah.
I have him muted on Snapchat. I have him muted on Facebook. So I have no idea when he's messaging me. I don't know when he posts. I don't want to know when he posts. I would have to literally go to see. I don't see his stories. I don't see none of that. And it's a good thing because I'm like, okay, in the past, what I did in the past, because I was triggered in the
Yeah.
past, I blocked him
Yeah.
in the past. I'm like, wait, why am I doing that? No, that's not helping. So instead of me blocking him, I've just restricted him, just muted him for the time being
Yeah.
so that I could focus.
Yeah.
And there's
I mean,
nothing wrong
that's,
with that. It helps.
yeah. I mean, like my SP is my girlfriend, and I still, her stuff was still muted because of all that stuff, and I just never went back. I'm like, I don't need to be checking this shit anyway. And then as a result, she doesn't post anymore. But like, maybe I don't know if that's because I manifested it or not. But it's like she really don't post nothing. So it's like, oh, so it doesn't matter because I don't go check her page ever. So it's like, why are we going? Because what I always say, why are you checking the page? You're looking for something you don't want to see. So whatever you seek, you find. So it's like, and if you see posts and you're not mentally ready yet, you're walking into a trap. You're setting yourself up to, and then because you fear that notification is not excitement. Deep down, it might feel like excitement, but deep down, it's a fear. You get notified, hey, they posted something.
Yep.
It's going to go look real quick. What are you looking for? Like, she's my girlfriend. Why would I go to her page? Like, unless I'm looking for something I
Why?
don't
There's absolutely no part there. There's absolutely no reason to have to like go and check. Like there's no reason whatsoever to check. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of checking? Like, there's no point. And I think there's like a huge difference. Like, yeah, okay, I support him like in everything that he does, but there's absolutely no point in checking the physical reality and the 3D. There's none whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like if it's not your manifestation, quit checking.
Yeah, exactly. It has nothing to do with it. When it's your manifestation, it's going to appear at the right time, and you're going to see it. You only need to whatever is positive that you need to see, you will see it. Everything else, it's just garbage. It's just filtered out.
Yeah.
But let's see.
That point blank.
We got
Any questions on the YouTube end?
yes, we had one. I don't know if he's still here, Bob. If you're still here, we got one that says you get. How do you get someone when you're in no contact? Now we kind of talked about that already. Do you want to take that one, or do you want me to?
I could talk about that. I'm fine with that. The To get somebody in no contact, you literally one you say, instead of saying that you're in no contact, embody the state of constantly being in no contact. Two, being in no contact is a blessing because it gives you the fresh, clean slate to literally create a brand new picture.
Yep.
So embrace the fact that you are in no contact.
Yep.
That's the way that I would see it.
Yep.
And four, work on self concept.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
that should
Yep.
actually be number one.
That's number one, and it's like because I always lead that conversation off with the one that you said too is blocked is a blessing because if you're the writer of your own story, then so it's perfect because if you're blocked or you're in no contact, first of all, cool, you don't see anything. If you see stuff, you're going to start. They post something and they're out. You're wondering what's going on. Why are they out? Is there a third party? Is there this? Is there that? Now you're spiraling to what if. If you see nothing, then only and because if Nick did it, you can do it, right? So if you see something and you're going off the faith that like, okay, Nick said that whatever happens in the background is really what's happening, you have no other choice but to do that because what if I experienced and people I've talked to experienced whatever they were imagining predominantly happening in the background, that's what happened. And I mean, like I said, those conversations, how did these conversations get relayed back to me? And it's not you asking, whenever you ask about them too, it's like, oh, did this happen in the background? Did this happen? It doesn't, they'll never answer it, but like naturally you'll get that answer. Because whether it's SP or a boss, a friend, whatever, something you want to hear and you say, hey, did you hear anything about this? No, I didn't know. No. But then the next day or later on that day, there's this conversation and then boom, 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 everything I wanted to hear. So blocked as a blessing is number one. Like Sheila said, focus on your self-concept is number two, because if you have a strong self-concept, it is very believable that you are going to get that desire. Why would you not get it if you are really a confident person who gets everything that they want? And what else? Yeah, I would say that, basically it's self-concept, realizing blocked is a blessing, and not identifying with it. It's like, and then, like Ink said, don't deny your fears, acknowledge you're not. Don't deny your fears because you're still acknowledging that state of fear. Yeah, but
Yeah.
and
And
then
if you
shift forward and spend more time living in the end. So self concept, realize it's a blessing. You write the story. When you write the story when you're nervous, and then the majority of the time you jump right to the end because that's where you live. And that's the feeling. That whatever that end state picture of affirmation or anything is, that is who you are. So anyway. That's the answer.
Yeah,
Sorry, you were saying something down here on this end.
I was just saying because I wanted to touch on what self concept is because I know sensitive is in here and I know she's still learning a lot, so she might not know what
gotcha.
self concept is. So what self concept is self concept is pretty much how you view the world. It's how you view everything. It's literally how you view relationships. It's how you view men. Or women.
Yeah.
Okay. It's how you view money, your relationship to money. It's how you view society. It even goes as far. It even goes as far as the earth and Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Like it's anything. It's your relationship with anything and you. That's
why
the simplified version of self concept.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because you're now the only person besides myself to ever explain it that way that I've heard is because, like I said, you have a self concept with everything and everyone. In this dynamic between me and you, I have a self concept in this this talking relationship right here. There's my self concept exists there. if you would have came to me before I started affirming that I'm a respected coach, even though I've been around for a long time, I would have looked at the numbers that you got more followers than me, and I would feel like nervous to say anything. But it's like, okay,
Hmm.
approaching where I am now, it's like, okay, my self concept between me and you is like, okay, a peer, a fellow mystic manifester, then also know you've been part of the mystic manifesting for a long time. So it's like, okay, I see you as someone who I respect and work with and a friend and an equal. But then it's like when it comes to a specific person, you might not see yourself that way. You might have them up on a pedestal. So that's why you work with self concept because, oh, I don't feel good enough because you're up here. And why are you up here? Because I want you and I don't have you right now. So all of a sudden that just boosts them up. So now they're up there. You go to work and instead of seeing your boss as just another human being, they might be someone, they're your bully. They're someone who looks down on you. If you got a bad relationship with your parents, there's like, you have your dynamic with them. You have a dynamic with everybody. And self concept is, like you said, your relationship or how you see yourself to that stuff, even the earth. So yeah, it's everyone and everything. So you're the only other person I've ever heard say that. So I wanted to appreciate your point right there.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that because but it's true. Like it
Yeah,
literally is in everything that you do, even social media.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
even social media. You even have a self concept even with social media. So it's in literally everything. So don't think that there's not one area that's not exempt from it. But when you work on like when you work on that self concept, like yes, I've been actively working on my self concept, but there was that little hump, that little part of me that was like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like I don't think I could do this. I don't think I should be reaching out to these content creators. I'm afraid that they're gonna say no. Like
Yeah,
there was that small little voice in my head, and now I'm like, wait, I don't call myself the queen of manifesting for nothing on
yeah,
this damn app. What the heck? No,
yeah,
we reached out to everybody and everyone, like on here, and seeing what happens and seeing what comes of it. And it's
yeah,
been nothing but blessings. It's been nothing but yeses because I don't hear the word no. I only hear the word yes because I'm
yeah.
allergic to the word no. And yes, that
I
is
like
going on
that.
a
There you
shirt.
go.
Actually, I already have it on a shirt, but that's besides the point.
You're like
Um,
me. You got all these ideas for shirts and they're not on it yet. I was just thinking about
no,
those
I
today.
actually do have allergic to the word no on a shirt.
Oh, nice. I
I
like
do
it.
have it on a shirt. I just have to get the store up and running, but yeah, it's on a shirt.
Yeah,
And then it's funny because even in here, there's the Lisa who literally thought of instant thought transmission. She thought of Yema, and Yema came on here.
yep,
She's not here anymore, but I bet you how much you want to make a bet because I'm thinking about her. She
yeah.
gonna pop up
So do
when I
right
get.
back up. Your thing's coming right back to the feed.
So it's that premise, like the more that you work on that self concept, the more easier things are, the more easier that you can get the things that you want and it happens quicker.
Yeah,
Is everything going to be instantaneously? Probably not. Do you
yeah,
want the relationship to be instantaneously? Outside, you probably don't want an instantaneous relationship. You want
yeah,
it, you want that relationship to take its time. It's the same way that when you have a pregnancy. Do you rush a pregnancy?
no, it's a yes, exactly. There you go. Like Neville said, everybody has its own everything has its own appointed time. Horse, chicken, the human baby, whatever. Everything arrives in the pregnancy at its own time.
Yeah. So these are things that we got to take it into account, but we don't take these things into account. It's like we were so accustomed to this whole instant gratification thing that we don't think that, oh, we think that everything can be instant, everything can be this way. But it's like there are just some things that I really want to take my time and enjoy. And
Yeah,
not
enjoy the
everything has to
process.
be instant gratification and instant manifestation. There's
Yeah,
some things that are meant to be a process, and that's perfectly fine.
yeah. And I saw the question right there, and immediately it jumped right to my answer.
How about with XP? We shouldn't continue with our relationship. Ooh, oh yeah,
Yes,
I'll let
that
you
one.
answer that.
It says, okay, so let me hit you with some motivation right here. And for YouTube, the question is, how about when SP says we shouldn't continue with our relationship? Okay, remember my story. People on YouTube know it, probably you know it, but it's like I was told we can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, I don't want to see you anymore. It's been great, but blah blah blah. It's never going to work. Then I get blocked everywhere. Blocked is a blessing, and then I find out through the grapevine after like manifesting balls to the wall for like 4 to 5 weeks or whatever. There's a third party. Then I somehow seen on Facebook I wasn't blocked, and then posted that she loved this guy, and I never heard that. And then it's like all this stuff, and then it's like continuing balls to the wall, all this stuff. And where am I now? In the relationship with her now. That's where I am now. But it went through that ugly, horrible stuff, and then it's finally like when I was like I went. There's a whole story on it because I don't want to go into all the little details of what happened. But basically, long story short, I could throw every. I don't want to throw all the methods out because I was throwing every method in the kitchen sink at it. Then I was like detachment / giving up. Next thing you know, run into her friend at the gym. Her friend's like, you know what? She misses you. Everything I was thinking about. She keeps talking about this story, which we talked about transmission. This one story that I picked out in my head that I was playing. It was her one friend that I only met one time on our first date, and I only been in her house one time. And she goes, we were having discussions in the kitchen table, and it's like, okay, cool. The kitchen table was the one thing I picked out in my mind with this specific friend. Everything that I wanted to happen happened, and it played out. And now here I'm in that relationship. So there is not one goddamn thing that is impossible to you. You are infinite being, and everything is possible.
Everything is literally possible. Anything is possible. Literally
Yeah,
anything and everything is literally possible. Everything. There is not one thing that is not possible.
yeah.
Actually, not that. How? Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Could, Nick, can keep talking because I gotta do
Okay.
something. So
Okay, yeah,
hold it.
I'm reading. I'm like, hold on. I see something about frying chicken and stuff. And here was didn't tell her what goes on at the time. Frying, not crying. Oh, wait, I saw.
I
Oh,
think
that's funny.
Bessie.
Nick, remember when your first SP was ran through it was icky? Yeah. Oh, that's. I'm trying to remember the first. You might be thinking about the same one, probably.
Probably.
I'm learning. I'm learning.
Hi,
Okay.
Toya.
I'm learning that too because I got discouraged when I don't see the instant results. Oh yeah, you're learning when you don't see instant results. Yeah, so instant results. Well, that's the point. Is you're supposed to feel it and have the results instantly, um, in your own mind. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with both the chat. I'm reading like both things as they're going through. I'm getting like cross-eyed. Um, What's it go? Because I'm trying to think. I'm like, who is this person talking about? I'm thinking maybe she's thinking about this SP that I had that I failed manifesting the first time. I'm thinking that that's who she's talking about. Um, what do you call it? Um, yeah, so she's still learning, gets discouraged when she's not seeing instant results. Well, it's not supposed to be instant results. It's supposed to be everything appears. You're supposed to feel it instantly, but for it to fit into reality, there's a time delay, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost left the live. I'm trying to catch up on all these. Sorry, I hardly heard you reply on that. You said your SP came back to you. Yes, my SP came back. We're dating now. But that same one was like, oh, I don't want to be with you, whatever, left me for somebody else, and there was all this bullshit had happened throughout that relationship. Yeah, we're together now and in a relationship, despite we're not going to be there and blah blah blah.
What example did you guys give to turn no contact around? Sorry, I missed that. If you guys said
Yeah,
it.
no, it's like I'm reading them both of them.
Thank you for the daily heart me, by the way. What examples? What did we give for as an examples?
What
Oh,
example?
self-concept. That was number one.
Oh yeah, self-concept, knowing exactly what you want. Why do you want it? How do you stand in that relationship? Blocked is a blessing. Nothing's impossible. Whatever you imagine on the outside happen. Thought transmission, inner conversations. Essentially, well, this is what I don't like about TikTok. They're going to lose this. They're going to lose that entire live unless we clip it up. But it's on the channel here, so you can watch it on. But you won't.
Yes, but
You
also
won't see
they're not
Sheila
gonna
though
lose
because I
it
don't have.
because we're not gonna lose a live because I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna save it and then
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna upload it to YouTube so y'all can go back to watch it on
Oh, that's
YouTube
a
as
good
well.
idea. You upload the whole thing to YouTube. You're not sitting there clipping out all the little pieces. Ah, there you
Yes,
go.
I upload the whole thing to YouTube so that you guys don't miss it, and then I make little individual clips so y'all could go back to rewatching it. I know that Prosperous Prof. I did my live with Yima and Toya, so you guys could go back and go watch those lives. Those are also already up on there. Lisa's live is up on there already, so this will probably be up there by Friday, give or take. So
I saved our one from last time, and it was like just sitting there trying to go through it. I'm like, how am I going to find 1 minute coherent things? And especially for myself, I'm like finding 1 minute because I go off on tangents. So like, it's very hard for me to find 1 minute.
you can upload the whole thing. Like, don't be afraid to upload the whole thing.
Well, I'll do the whole thing on YouTube, no problem. But I'm saying like on here because like this maybe is a limiting belief, but it seems like any video over 1 minute is not doing well for me. Like that Neville one flopped on here. I paid for a promotion because I'm like I put work into that Neville edit, so I'm like I paid to promote that, but it flopped hard here and it flopped on Instagram, and I was like, man, I was proud of that one.
Yeah, so what I suggest for you to give you guys some social media tips and tools and resources. So when you're growing on here, what you want to do is that would might be helpful is to instead of trying to focusing on the minute clips because you're not yet in the creator fund program, instead of focusing on those longer clips, focus on shorter clips. Like have fun with your content on TikTok because when you have more fun with the content on TikTok, it shows.
Yeah,
It
that's
shows
what I
more.
was trying to do.
Those are
What
the
you
clips that are
said,
going to
like,
go viral.
yeah, like you were saying, respond to some of the comments with videos. I'm like, oh
Yes.
yeah, you could do that. So I'm like, I'm gonna start trying to do that. But yeah, I'll probably upload another video today. But yeah, this is different. Different to get used to this platform versus YouTube. And hold on, we got a question. This is one of my favorite users. I don't know your actual name, but I love your name. It's Glizzy Gobbler. what?
I'm
What's
sorry.
her? What's her at so we can fully manifest? Her
Wait a
at
minute. I
is
got
the queen of manifesting. What is your? Are you queen of manifesting on YouTube too? They're asking.
No, I'm Sheila J on YouTube.
I'm Sheila J on YouTube and the queen of manifesting on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's great. It's funny.
That name,
Yeah,
that
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 name
that
gets me
name,
every live stream. I was like, it always makes me laugh.
that
Because I will
name.
have like, there will be serious questions that I'm answering directed to the Glizzy Gobbler at times. And I love because it bridges my comedy and comedic sense with this too.
Yeah, that's a name, all right. Okay, that is a name, all right. I sent that name to my bestie so she can hear it because yeah, that's definitely a name. And her spicy self is gonna be like, oh, okay. So top 10 names.
Yeah, and it's funny because I knew that name
That's
because it's like from my old group of friends. We used to call the one dude the Glizzy Gobbler. No, I remember why. I'm picturing now. We were all very drunk at a party, and somebody put a hot dog that fell on the floor in his Corona, and he didn't know it. He took it to the mouth. So he was the Glizzy Gobbler. That's where I knew that name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see, yeah. It's names like that get interesting comments
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
Am I surprised? No,
no.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
But
and it was
either
like
way,
when everybody's drunk, it's like the funniest thing. It's like, and I remember like there is a picture where like all of us are laughing and like we're laughing so hard. It is a hot dog in a Corona bottle, and for so long it was so funny. It's like, and then the hot dog was launched into the street after that.
that's hilarious. Yeah,
Yes. There
that's
was some good
hilarious.
times with that group of friends, but there was like I was a group I broke away from just because it was like the I did not like the negative self talk. We would go out to bars and it's like, oh, we can't get any girls. Why are we talking like this? It's like we go to the gym, we're all fat. What are we doing? What are we all doing here?
What are we doing? Like what? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like guys, I don't know. I think that's also something that needs to be talked about. Stop gossiping.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, that's
gossiping
true.
and
Yeah.
negative talk.
Yeah.
Because when
Because
you
it's like,
gossip about other people, you're gossiping about yourself too.
yeah. Is that a Reverend Ike quote? I was gonna say, I feel like that's
Actually,
something that he
no,
said.
it's actually not a Reverend Ike quote. Actually, it's called this. I can't remember what it's called, but I do know I did a video on it on TikTok. But there's this thing where I learned about it in my consciousness class, where whatever you say about somebody else, odds are if you're gossiping about this person or you did this thing, odds are you are essentially saying that about yourself. But I
Yeah, because you're
forgot
so
what
focused on
exactly
them,
it's called.
it's like backfiring. It becomes like a karma. I feel like because you're talking about them so much, you're focused on it in the story and the story about them. In a way, you don't. It's your story now because you carry it with you to tell it to everybody. But it's just
Yeah,
shit talking someone else. They kind of like if you ever tell a story enough times, you kind of forget like the little aspects of who it is, where it is, and all that stuff. But you remember the story and the core of what the story means. That's you now, and you're carrying it, so you're going to get that shot onto you.
basically, and you have to be extremely careful with what should I do. Meanwhile, though, because we're currently not talking, what you should do is just focus on yourself.
Oh wow, that was delayed. I didn't even get that to now.
Like that's what you should do. You focus on yourself. You don't.
Yeah,
Okay, you're not talking. Focus on
it's an
yourself.
answer nobody wants to hear though. It's to focus on yourself. It's which sucks, but if they come into your mind, that's when the manifesting techniques come in. What are the techniques? Like I said in all these videos, techniques are tools. You use those tools to feel better about yourself and feel good about the situation and put yourself how you would feel if things were good. And then in the meantime, live your life. Do not like you live your life no matter what's going on.
Basically. So it's like it's yeah, you don't want to hear it, but it's the best thing that you possibly can do is focusing on yourself.
Yeah,
Heck, my SP even said that.
yeah,
Okay, my SP even told me that last week when I was having a conversation with him. He was like, focus on yourself, focus on your goals, focus on
mhm.
bettering yourself. So Sean from Here Nor There, um, he says like he put this out there and he gave this perspective. Your SPs are always going to tell you the answer in which you don't want to hear, but they
It's funny
want
he
to hear.
said that. God damn, it's funny he said that because I said that too before. Like, that's why I think I would have a good conversation with him because like you and him are literally like two of the creators I know that are almost on par with me. With like, I mean, there's other creators I respect that I've worked with before, but it's like recently in the recent times you guys have popped up because I've seen him. It's funny. I've seen him, and you told me you're like, oh, I actually work with him and stuff like that. And when I first seen him pop on the scene before he blew up, he was like just starting to. I was like, this guy's gonna manifest a huge following really quick. And then he did. I'm like, he's got the presentation, and I'm like, I would
Wow.
love to work with this guy sometime. And then I forgot about him. Then he disappeared out of my feed. And then when I started identifying with, oh, I'm the guy who's like, who's going to be respected by other coaches and peers and stuff like that. And you know what? People are going to reach out to work with me. You reach out to work with me. Then you tell me you know Sean, and then it's like, and then you're like, oh, if you reach out, he'll probably because you know him. You're like, he'll probably say yes. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then it's like, because the stuff he was saying, I'm like, okay, there's not a lot of guys teaching this. Like I was probably the end of the first wave of guys to come in teaching this stuff. Then I seen him, and I'm like, okay, I align with this guy. He makes sense and stuff like that, like his presentation. And then next thing you know, it's just funny that I'm like, wow, he's saying the stuff I'm saying too, and like he presents it probably a little bit more clear and concise than me. I've got too much of my personality mixed into it. Like I have to like just do it the way I know how. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
yes,
And she asked, how does focusing on myself make him come back?
because then you feel worthy that you deserve him. You can't have something you feel like you don't deserve. The universe gives you whatever you want. If you want to be loved, you have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, the world's a mirror. You're going to get treated the way you expect to be treated. You expect him to not want you. He has to not want you. That's universal law. That's spiritual law. That's the law of assumption. You assume he doesn't want you, so then boom. I know it sucks. All you have to do is walk in faith. If it's already lost, look at where you are now. Okay, if it's already lost and you don't have it, what do you have to lose by applying these techniques? You have nothing to lose but everything to gain because at the very least they're going to make you feel better. And that's when I tried this. It was like I was trying, and the day went by, a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and at the very longest time, like if there's someone who I can tell you that I've done it 10 times, or not 10 times, I've done it 5 times, And it's like when you get the SP back, it's like I waited 10 weeks at one point and I was ready to give up, but guess what? I still stayed in and it worked. So how does focusing on yourself, not make anything great? Everything is great when you focus on yourself because you actually give yourself the love that you desire. Why do you want that person? You want that person because you want to feel loved. Well, you don't need them to feel loved. You need yourself to feel loved. You're the one who grants the permission. Why is it that that person's love is more important than another person's love? Why can't you just get any person, any specific person to come in and love you? And why does it just have to be that one? Because you're using that as a catalyst, as really a wake-up call to love yourself. There's my rant.
Finger snaps, finger snaps, finger snaps, yeah, finger snaps. Literally. And to add on to that, it's like, okay, you can, your SP is your your SP is your mirror. If your SP is your mirror, if they're who you're supposed to be with. Let me preface that because a lot of times we want to manifest somebody that may not be good for us. And that was something that it took a lot for me to learn. I didn't understand that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I want this specific person. Like, I want this specific person. But is this good for me?
Yeah.
But we don't take that, like, we want what we want. But then that's where you have to decipher between your ego manifesting and your higher self manifesting. And sometimes we get that lost in the jungle, like we get that lost in the mix. And
Yeah.
then as you're manifesting as you're manifesting and as you're working on your self concept and as you're elevating, as you're growing, are you'll get to that place where a lot of us have where it's like, do I even want them?
It's crazy too because you'll manifest the person back, or you will manifest in the perfect SP or whatever, and you realize, wow, the whole journey of this was a self-love journey, which is what I keep saying. The whole thing was a self-love journey, and then when you get them, it's kind of like I've been there. You have the person, and it's like you feel like you've elevated so much that you might not want it, and then so you fear elevating because then you won't want this one person, so you destroy yourself to not do it. So I do believe that like whatever decision you make is the right one, but I will not, like when we go back to the coaching ethics, if there's an abusive thing, I will not coach you. I've turned those signs down. If it's same. Like, I mean, I had one, and I get halfway through the session with the girl, and then she brings up the abuse. I'm like, well, how do you want to be with this person? And it was surprisingly, because you don't ever hear about this, it was the girl doing it and then using like coaching. I'm like, no, the session's over. We'll send you the money back. Like, I'm not going to like manifest let you teach you to be a bully, like, and then have to say, no. This is like, you don't know how to use this. It's good.
Yeah, that part. Like we forget that. And that's why I have that same philosophy. I will not help you if you are in one of those situations because I have been through that. I've gone through it. I will not do it because I've seen it in my own life. Like I literally for 3 years I spent manifesting somebody who was not good for me.
Yeah.
Okay? For 3 years. I put aside what I was feeling, what I knew actually really happened, to continue to manifest somebody who I knew was not good for me. My higher self knew it so much so that me and this person, I would manifest him back in, but every time I would manifest him back in, it would end the same. It would end that same toxic cycle, and I would always be like, "Why is this doing this? Why are we doing this? Like, why?" And it would always bring up the same thing, like, I know what you did to me. Like it would bring up these like resurfacing memories and these resurfacing arguments to the point where I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not good.
Yeah.
And like, but each time that I did it, each time that I do it, just because I was going through that, I was still simultaneously still working on my self-concept.
Yeah.
So then last year, when push came to shove, when it was that final toxic, like that final, like, oh, he just wants me to move on. 2 days later, my now SP popped up on my For You page.
Yeah. It was kind of like when I gave up the SP before this that I was failing to manifest, then and I just kind of made a promise to myself and God that I will focus only on myself from this moment forward to recover from my injury that was caused from that other breakup. And then I went into the gym that day, and 20 minutes later, I met the current SP, who's been the whole journey of ups and downs. But I think we get addicted to the high of like, they've come back, and it's like the law, the ego that, oh, I used the law to bring this thing into fruition. But it's a big thing that makes me like, I don't like doing the SP coaching as much sometimes, because sometimes people don't give you all the information. It's like, are they hiding the bad information because they're trying to deny that reality and of something really horrible? But it's like, I mean, I've been through the thing where it's like, okay, you've been betrayed and then still chose to manifest the person back. So it's like, okay, that is a fucking painful one to go through. And the reason why do these things come back? Why do we manifest these people back again? And then it ends the same way. I think even though you forgive, it's very hard to forget. Okay, you forgive and then you forget. There's still somewhere always going to be that trauma of underlying pain that you have to continuously fight, which is why I agree with your point about sometimes it is better to let go. But it's that I will never tell you, don't manifest this person and do manifest that person. I will tell you, do whatever you think is right, and I will tell you everything is possible because I've lived it and experienced that. But then being on the other side, having the person is not the end all be all. And why did you really manifest it? I feel happier at the end of the day, not because I have the specific person, but because I am the specific person that I would have wanted to be when I was younger. The hero that I wished I had when I was a kid, that's who I became. So it took this journey to do it.
Yeah, it's always the journey. And like the way that I like, because of my background and because of the things that I have experienced and because of what I learned in school, that's what does set me apart from everyone else, because I'm not looking at it from with the obsession lens. I'm not looking at it from the toxic lens. I'm looking at it of, oh, I went through this, but I've gone through school for the holistic psychology. I understand the trauma side. I understand this. So when I'm looking at the manifesting and bridging the gap between psychology and spirituality and the science part, I'm looking at it from, I want to help you, but I want to help you in a healthy way, not in a toxic way.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, and then when you have the trauma part, if you guys want, or you should, I highly recommend it. Read The Body Keeps the Score. Very, very good. It is an extremely good read. It also piggybacks on this topic that this little paper that I had to read for school that I'm going to do a couple of videos on, which is called Repatterning the Body's Cellular Memory. And it talks about emotions and what emotions are. There's one part of it says, our bodies are energy. Emotions are a form of energy in motion. Emotion.
Yeah.
So when emotions are understood as an energetic force pumping throughout our system, the psychosomatic or mind-body effects of trauma become much clearer and recognizable to even the lay person. And so that's like a really good preface, but then when you pair that with the understanding and reading the Body Keeps the Score, then you start to understand how trauma affects your body, but also affects your mind.
Yeah.
That's why doing the somatic exercises to release your trauma from out of your body, and doing like the physical therapy and doing this, like all these like things that you do in the physical to help heal your body will also simultaneously heal your subconscious.
Yeah, the breathing exercise, meditation, stretching, running, working out. You said massages, physical therapy, all that different stuff. It's like, that's why I talk about the mind-body connection too, where I bridged a little bit of fitness in there, because the lessons I've learned in manifesting correlated with the lessons I learned growing up in the gym and playing sports. I was like, wow, these lessons are synonymous. They work together. And right there, like you said, it's like even like the psychologists, they had the Olympians practicing their events without, they were practicing their events without practicing them, just in their minds, and they would still perform better. Not as good as the guys who actually practiced, but still, why would there be an improvement if you physically did nothing, if there was no connection?
Yep. So there's always that connection.
Yeah.
Always.
I've got over here in the comments, this is making me laugh. And I had to look away when I was trying to listen to your point, and I glanced over and I saw this going on. So let's give a shout out to Glizzy Gobbler and Manifesting Mandrill. He says, "Hi, Glizzy Gobbler." And Gary, I know we talked about this. I'm not going to read the chats, but this one is worthy of it. He said, "Hi, Mr. MM. GG, was that you sucking down Coronas with a glizzy straw?" He says, "It's a sprint." No, he goes, "It's not a sprint, it's a marathon." That line took me out when I glanced over and I saw that while you were talking to me. I was like, oh, well, that got me. So, and Adro, welcome in. And Gary, we aren't manifesting that person to come in as, oh, wait, aren't we manifesting that person to come in as who we want them to be? Yes, Gary, I do agree with that too. We will manifest in the exact version that we want, but it's also like there is a point too. It's like how much effort does a person want to put in? For me, I did put that effort in, and it has paid off. But for other people, like in certain situations, if they don't want to and they want to manifest someone new, I think that's the right choice. Everything is all individually based, so that's why I will agree with the point of like, oh, I want to drop this person because I don't feel happy with them anymore. Because at the same time, you've elevated. And there are times that it's like, I don't want to be in that relationship either. With there's stuff now where it's like, if I'm unhappy with it, I'm not manifesting a change of answer or whatever like that. Like, that's just that person and the personality. And like, for the most part, it's what I want. So I will only, I'm not going like every little detail because I'm not sitting there trying to change the person and change my reality like that. I go general on the relationship's great, everything works out. And that's the person
Yeah.
I am. But if you don't want to have to sit there and with, like nitpick each little thing of like what you want in the relationship for that person to come back, you could also just script out, like I said, the perfect SP like I would do, and then they come in. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to look at the chat because Manifesting Mandrill and Glizzy Gobbler got me right there.
But that was funny.
Yeah,
That was
and the Pirate King says, oh no, the Guildsman Pirate says, "You're the king of my world." Well, thank you, sir. I actually know him. I grew up with him.
oh.
Thank you, sir. We were going to play some
Look at
songs
that
later.
network.
What's that?
I said, look at that.
He's always
Self-confidence right
supporting.
there.
Yeah. He's the one who sends me donation stuff. I'm like, take the money back. Don't send me that. And then he's always like, there you go. Well, then I'll have to hit you back at the casino. You're going to get paid back.
Can you send me a DM about that book before I forget? Yes, I will definitely send you that book.
What's that?
I was out.
Oh, man, mine is like really delayed. Like you're reading it and seeing it, and then as soon as you're done, and I say, would you read it? Pops up.
Yeah, she's asking if I could send her the book. Yeah, I will definitely send you the title of the book. It is a very good book. It is very sciencey. I'm gonna forewarn you, it is very sciencey, but it's definitely worth the read. You will definitely learn a lot from that book. There's also The Myth of Normal. That is also a very like an amazing read, but it is like this thick. But a good read. There's The Art of Possibility. That one's a very that's a quick read. That's like literally a 1, 2, 3 read. There's psychosynthesis. There's no specific book on psychosynthesis, but psychosynthesis, what that is, it's basically it's the opposite of psychoanalysis. Psychosynthesis, where it takes all of the parts of you and you integrate it, and you learn how to disidentify with the version of you that you are not.
Yeah. This is interesting. I would like right now I'm reading like 10 books. It's like, but I'm not reading them. I listen to audiobooks, so it's like in traffic or at work. That's the reason I do like having a day job still, especially one where nothing's really going on. I just sit there and I'll listen to audiobooks again and again. And I spend it as a learning time. Oh, and I have a manifestation to fulfill tonight, I guess. I just need you to manifest me getting some strange tonight. I've been trying to manifest this for days now. That's the pirate. So, at the casino, sir, I will be your wingman. I will provide all of the mysticism for you.
I'm done.
I love my
I'm
chat, how
done.
wild it gets.
It's so random. It's so random, but it's just like, oh wait, I'm not expecting it. But then again, your community is also a
It
reflection
is my
of
mirror
you.
because it's something where it never stays. Why'd you send me money again? Like, what's it called? It's a reflection of me. It says, use this on 12 spins of very cherry. You make me want to be a better man. Well, thank you, pirate. He sent me $5. That's
See, that's
86
cute.
cents. So I'm gonna actually
Aww.
make a video out of that. Then we will take the $5 and do that. We're getting riled up here and ready to manifest. Glizzy Gobbler, thank you, Glizzy Gobbler. No, I love this because this is like a group of people I would hang out with. Like that's why I want to meet everybody because my chat is wild like me, where it's like, I mean, this when you see it's like there's a room full of costumes over here for like comedy. Like you watch the channel, it's like I bring out a Thanos glove in the middle of a manifesting conversation.
I really want to get my hand on a Thanos cup
Oh,
now.
you need
Now,
to.
but it's okay because I cosplay.
Oh yeah,
So
you do.
I do cosplay. So I
You just
get
gave
it.
me an idea. Halloween mystic manifesting. I paint myself purple and come out with the Thanos glove. Shirtless,
Yeah.
shirtless Thanos with the glove and a bald cap. This is
You know what? Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And I'll be Scarlet Witch.
yes. I love it. I think that would be actually a good one because you're actually a cosplayer. My go-to costume is always Indiana Jones. So either Indiana Jones. I think there's a mobster costume in there, the cockroach costume, but that's a Flex Entertainment trademark character. The Knights. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I could bring up. We should be doing Halloween manifesting live streams. Was that?
It's just so much fun. It's sensitive as it has to hop off, but I appreciate her for being here and staying on for as long as she
Yeah, I
has.
appreciate you. Yeah, she's been here the whole time.
Like literally, she's literally been here the entire time. So shout outs to her.
Yeah. And with that, maybe we'll be jumping off soon too. But if you want, we could go live again tomorrow. I will be down. I don't know how often you go live, but I'm trying to do
I
it
try
more
to
on
go live
TikTok.
every day.
You do it every
I
day?
am getting a little I'm not gonna lie though, I am getting a little hungry.
Yeah, no, I was like, I know I'm getting hungry again because it's almost time for another meal, then the gym, and then I got to come back here and film like 7 videos. Plus, I promised the pirate that I would meet him at a casino when he gets off work. So, and still get 3 hours of sleep before work.
That's fine. But this was a good
It
live.
was. I
This was
enjoyed
such
it.
an amazing live, and I'll be upload. Like I said, I'll be uploading the replay onto YouTube and stuff. So
And sounds good. Send me a DM with your link to your YouTube so I could share it over to them too. Because usually YouTube just seems to stay in YouTube and TikTok seems to stay in TikTok. So I'll share it out to both of them. But appreciate you having me on your show today and being a part of Mystic Manifesting. So
I'm happy to be here.
well, we're happy to have you here too, and happy you've been around for. If you guys didn't know, because there's more people here now. Like this has actually been a very watched episode. Like there's 7 people here now. The Queen of Manifesting has been a member of Mystic Manifesting family since the very beginning, but I just didn't know until last time we went live. So I appreciate her, appreciate all you guys, appreciate everyone from the Queen of Manifesting page who watched. So you go get some food, and I've got a long night.
Yeah. Right. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Thanks for having me. Bye.